Today, my friends, we're here to teach you guys how to use Miner Hog Hybrid at Town Hall 11. We're going to be going over everything that you guys need to know, from your queen charge to using the Miner Hogs and the heal spells. But with that being said, let's show you guys the power of Miner Hogs. So you're here to learn Miner Hog Hybrid here at Town Hall 11. Well, this video's got you covered. So we're going to be going over a lot of different things and a couple different sort of attacks throughout this video. But one of the biggest things is, of course, this video is going to be mainly solely focused in on Miner Hog Hybrid and how you guys can use it. If you guys have heard this strategy at Town Hall 12 and Town Hall 13, then yeah, it still works at Town Hall 10. So maybe even try this out in your own wars or in SCWL. So definitely these are just a couple of tips that I want to really give you guys to improve your attacking at Town Hall 11. Miners right now, really easy. And if you notice I'm uploading a lot of miners, it's because they're doing really, really well. Just saying. But one of the biggest things with a queen charge miner portion, or I guess the queen charge portion of this attack, is going to be getting rid of the CC, the Eagle, and the Inferno, and also just getting some funneling made for your miners and hogs. So if we take a look at this base design, I want to zoom into this area here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a funnel like this and jumping into this area here. This way it gets us access to things such as the Eagle, the CC, and also the Inferno Tower. Those three are still going to be really good pieces of value that we can get with our queen charge. But then also as we're entering in, we're just making sure that we're clearing up this area here. That way what happens is we are then actually creating that sort of area for our miners and our hogs to go in. So if we're clearing up this section here with our queen charge, we can just send in our siege barrack this way, and then we have our easy pathing going in this way. Narrow pathing, that's what you're looking for with miners and maybe even hogs, but your hogs are there to support your miners. Think of it this way. Since the hogs go to those defenses first, that allows your miners to hit other structures and still also help the hogs in taking out defenses. So the biggest thing here is that your miners are not the support. It's your hogs that are support. So you want to make sure that they're being tanked for by the miners. You should have either a fair amount, but usually miners are going to actually be invulnerable while they're underneath the ground, which is actually really convenient for them since hogs don't get that luxury. So of course the hogs are going to be going out there and making sure that they can take care of each of those defenses, while the miners are just going to go straight through to each of those buildings and take each of them out. Very, very good way of really using this attack. Now, of course, you've got to also make sure that you are raging up your queen. So typically this is going to be when you're dealing with the enemy CC and or the enemy queen / king. Yes, sometimes you will have to deal with the enemy king, in which you will have to use a rage on top of your queen if you don't think that she's going to take him out without using that rage or an ability. And you don't really want to pop the ability until a little bit later on. Now, this gives you guys a little bit of a solid sort of introduction into the intro part of it. Then when you're using your miners, remember that you want to use your heal spells over those areas, or really over areas where they're in groups. That way, what you're able to do is heal up the hogs and the miners together in order to keep them alive as they go through the base. And we will talk about the Grand Warden as we go through this example, but I wanted to really show you guys and really explain to you how this attack went on, and also tips that you can take away from this. So the biggest thing, at least in my personal opinion, is really going to be creating the funnel for your queen. I understand that queen charge is really difficult, so by taking a look at it here, so we're using a baby dragon on this area because the queen was placed here. She would pick off this building and this building, and then what will happen is she'll move up. So that's what's going to happen here with this attack. But what you got to make sure that you're doing is take a look at the area around your entry point for your queen charge. So that way you can get rid of this area, which is going to mainly focus our queen in. Once we're able to take care of here, we can drop our king to go in this direction and allow our king to create the funnel there. Now that allows our queen to jump right into this base here. And that is why I think you guys should be a little bit sort of cautious with how you guys do your queen charge, but making sure that you know exactly how you guys can funnel your queen into the base. That's the most important part. Now remember, seeking air mines are still going to be a heavy threat to your queen charge, so make sure that you're using a coconut loon. That way what you're going to be able to do is soak up any seeking air mines in order for those healers to stay alive. As long as you still have 4, you'll be completely fine. You'll see with the jump is that it allowed him to get into, or allowed them to get into the base and lure out the CC, kill off the multi-inferno, and just dealing with the eagle and the CC are going to be next. But you'll notice that if we take a look at this example, see that we have a clear sort of funnel here and right here for the miners. That's really what we're going to be doing since we're going to be getting rid of this building. So you may also notice that we have the siege barrack down here at 6 o'clock. This allows us to create the funnel on this side here as we send in our miners and our hogs going in like this. Right behind them is going to be the Grand Warden. The Warden's job in this case is to make sure that they are underneath that life aura, his passive ability, and then also making sure that you pop your Grand Warden's ability maybe about mid to early in the base like you see right here, making sure that we can keep the hogs and also the miners alive, so then we don't need to burn a heal. That's going to be the main thing that we want to keep in mind when we're using miners and hogs. But you can see, easy stuff, and making sure that you're paying attention to where a big group of them are. Mostly it's going to be the hogs and the miners, but usually it's going to be hogs since, you know, they move pretty quickly and they just go for defenses. That's really where you can get a lot more value because of how those hogs are pathing. But with that being said, that gives you guys a very good introduction into Miner Hog Hybrid if you're new to it. But let's go and show you guys some more examples of how you guys can use the Miner Hogs here at Town Hall 11. Now, let's take a look at this base design, and I just want to pause it for a second. I want you to really take the time and look at the base. Scout the base out. You may already notice one thing. Well, there are 2 single Infernos and 4 ground Expos. Now, you may already think to yourself, why not use air? Air is definitely a better option, maybe even a drag bat. But even though, yes, I would actually consider that, I would say if you just set a funnel here, just send in your dragons here, easy dub right there, because realistically, as long as you get through that back end portion of the base, you can just bat wave the rest of that, and that's all you have to do. But with a queen charge into a Miner Hog Hybrid, what you want to really try and do is really to scout the base. You don't want to go for a single Inferno, of course, but you want to look for value, primarily the CC and the Eagle. So if we take a look at the CC placement here, we can actually probably even just allow our queen to walk. But we want to still get value from the inside, so we want to charge into this area without being in range of the single Inferno. That way what we can do is if we clear that side, we can just send in our miners and hogs this way. That's sort of the idea, and that's what we want to think. Of course, it's not really a strong base design, especially since, well, we've got 4 ground expos and stuff. But what we're seeing here is we are seeing a coconut loom being dropped in order to soak up any air traps around that queen, or around that area for the healers. So as we see here, we are allowing our funnel to be created by the baby dragon, and that's something you want to really keep in mind. So make sure that you are looking at the base and see whether or not you can get some sort of value for your baby dragon in order to create the funnel. Now, if we pause it here, I want to really quickly take a look at this, and you'll see that the king may wander in, which is sometimes alright, but other times you really want him to go on the outside. But just like how I said, you want to make sure that you're creating a funnel here, and then you're charging your queen into the base, like I said there. We want to stay out of range of the single Inferno as much as possible. You may already notice that there is an Electro Dragon and a loon in this enemy clan castle, so dealing with this won't be too bad. Even with a little bit lower level queen, as long as you have a level 40 plus queen, you will be able to deal with Electro Dragons in the CC just fine. Doesn't matter if they're maxed or not. Underneath a poison and underneath a rage for the queen, she's going to be able to do complete work of an Electro Dragon. So you may already notice here is that we are going to be able to get that eagle, and we're sending in the siege barrack on the opposite side. What this allows us to do now is actually send all of our miners into the base, and also all of our hogs into here. The main thing here is that what you'll see is we want some of those wizards to actually clear up this area, so it leaves our hogs and our miners to move into this direct area. So you'll see, like, boom, easy pathing just right here. That's how we're moving. 3 ground expos. Yeah, they're not maxed, but 3 ground expos on top of that queen, but still being able to stay alive, still moving her way through the base, and the hogs will be able to move in a direction like this. So that's where really the heal spells can come into play. You'll notice that the miner, or the Grand Warden's ability, placed over the miners and the hogs over that mid section of the base, kind of in the middle, so he didn't have to use another heal, but pretty easy nonetheless. Very, very simple attack, and it really gets the job done, and you can see really why this attack is so strong. So if you guys need help with the queen, and mostly the queen charge, then I could really be looking into a queen charge, queen walk guide for you guys to really hopefully teach you guys how to use that essential sort of way of using, really any strategy. But let me know in the comments below. But let's go ahead and move on to the next example. Now, let's take a look at this base design here, and you guys may see that of course, it's not an entirely maxed Town Hall 11, but still it's good to show this sort of base style. Now, I know you guys have probably seen something very similar to this, so definitely, really, this is going to be a very easy way of 3-starring these type of bases. For one, of course, you are using the queen charge well, of course, you're using the hybrid. So what you really want to try in this case is you want to try and still get some sort of value. So notice that this jump, how is this jump is placed is, well, you may notice he can actually jump into this area, which is actually really good because what he's going to be able to do is deal with the enemy CC. Once he's done with that and done with the rest of here, he can actually jump into this area and take all of that out. That's really good, especially for a jump. So you want to make sure that you are still getting some sort of value from your jump spell as much as possible. So, as we're sending in our miners, we have easy pathing here. Notice that they're not, for the most part, they're not going to move towards the outside. The miners can start moving in this direction, while the hogs will start moving maybe around here, maybe more towards the outside. They will move towards the outside and work their way back around into the base, but you'll see how they're just getting a lot of work. One of the things I didn't mention was the siege barrack and hogs. Now, I did mention the siege barrack a little bit, but the hog riders within there do make up a good chunk of it. The hogs there are going to go in with your other hogs and miners in order to help clear up the base, because those max hogs can really do work. So definitely having them is a very much an essential aspect in this. Very, very simple though with this attack. Really nothing too hard. Making sure that you're healing them in groups. If you have an extra rage, you could probably even rage them up. But very, very simple nonetheless. Dealing with enemy CCs, whether it be a damage CC or a non-damage CC, very, very easy to do. And like you see right here with all these 3 examples. We've got a couple more examples here for you guys. So sit tight and let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more. So remember with this attack that we want to still get value from our jump spell. So we want to make sure that we are really taking our time and taking a look at the base. First of which you already may notice is that we're not really going towards that town hall. If we take a look at that top area, it's pretty compact and that eagle is being protected. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use our jump against at least a multi-inferno as much as possible. That way what we're going to be able to do is actually get open, or at least open the base, and then work our way in. Now you'll see that the king was really lucky here to actually be able to open that entire compartment, die off, and then now we just have to deal with the enemy CC, which is never something that's too bad to deal with. You'll see that we're dropping in the poison a little bit later in order for the lava pups in there to actually get into that poison, and that will help take them out as well. since they go in around that ring against that queen. So fairly simple to get rid of. It's not too difficult here. What you'll also see from this side here is that we're creating the funnel on this side, which allows us to drop our miners into the base here. The jump spell is good because now we actually get a little bit deeper into this area here where we can pick up the eagle. So that's really going to be an extremely viable thing with this. So as we're moving in, we're making sure that we are sending everything in as they go through the rest of the base, making sure that we're healing them up, keeping that rage, keeping the rage spells for the queen to keep her alive. But you can see there's a lot of dead zones in this in this base that make it very suitable to actually using this attack. But other than that, it's a very simple attack. There's nothing more else I can say. I explained it towards the beginning, and it kind of just to show you guys a couple more examples. Of course, I know I talk a little bit too much, and I hope that it's not something that is bothering a lot of people, but I hope that you guys are enjoying the face cam and all of that, and I will hope to get a brand new sort of area where you guys can see me in a little bit of a better setting, and then on top of that, just a better overlay. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. Also, feel free to go ahead and join my community Discord, and also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget to follow/subscribe to me on Twitch. We are going to be working our way for 15 subscriber points there in order to unlock more sub badges. Also, feel free to go ahead and join any of the clans I'm covering down in the description below. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.